Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Supreme Prophet Society, Jose Fernandez. That's June 15th. We are actually about 2 days away from our 1 month anniversary launch. So I'm really, really excited. To just have you here. You guys have no idea what a blessing this is. The fact that we have different people from different walks of life, different races, different genders, but we all have one thing in common is that we see Forex as our come up, and the fact that we see Forex as a way of, coming up is that's what's going to happen. The more we focus on it, the more we grind on it every day, that we stay late up for, 4 or 5 a.m. Some people go days, hours, without sleep. You could tell who's grinding because they're losing sleep. Uh, as people, if you're trading on this side of the hemisphere, in America, one of your goals should be to be rich enough to move to London. That way, you no longer have to lose any sleep. That should be one of your goals right there. Make enough money to move to Europe. That way, you can wake up normal time and make money, without losing sleep. Um, so, we have a lot planned for the team. Shirts coming up. We have one of our star traders, Alex. He's in the works of, bringing out new training, fresh training. And this is actually Renko training. This is something you can't find, out there on the web. Trust me, I've looked, for Renko training. There's not a lot out there. So, the fact that we're offering something brand new and fresh is, something to really look forward to. This is going to be, it's not going to be that much of a long training, but I do have one trick, as far as long-term trading that, some of you may know about it, most of you don't, but I promise you, you could add this to the tools, that you're already using, to help you long-term trading or just to confirm the trend that you're going in, okay? So let me just go ahead and get this started. We just started the live training. Some people are still hopping on, but we got a nice sized crowd. Shout out to everyone on the team. We see you putting in work. Shout out to all the affiliates. Shout out to Jacob last week. He brought in, I think, 13, 14 sales in 1 week. Jacob, we all know he's from MCA and he's doing MCA numbers. He's killing it, making multiple sales a day. Pretty soon we might actually request an affiliate training from you, Jacob. Just so we can all know, how are you, referring so many people. I'm pretty sure a lot of affiliates are kind of wondering, how you're bringing in so much traffic and so much leads. So, maybe we can save that for another time. But now let me go ahead and actually move to training. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Okay, cool. All right. Um, Now go ahead and on the chat. Can everyone see my screen and can everyone hear me correctly before I, actually go ahead and begin? So if you can hear me, yeah, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and start this training. Now, like I said, in the post, this is just going to be a simple trick to help you as far as long-term trading. You can actually use this for the 5 minute, but I recommend it more for the 1 hour and the 4 hour. And really what it is, it's the MACD and volumes. A lot of people, we have that in our training, but what I'm going to show you is a modified version, an upgraded version, more accurate, more powerful version of the MACD and volume training. And a lot of you actually, you guys don't really know the power of the MACD and really how to read it. So, you should already have the MACD in volumes. If you don't have it, you can download it from our membership site in the download section, or you can just do a simple search, MACD in volumes download. Okay. Um, Let me go ahead and look for it real quick. Give me a second. Okay. So this is the MACD in volume right here. Okay. This is the default settings. And this is actually the one we have in our training. And as you know it's a really simple. Basically, what the MACD is, it's just basically what it just is really is just two, moving averages, okay? And it shows you the volumes, the power of the trend and everything. A lot of people use this for different reasons. It's really, a lot of people end up using this for scalping, for the 5-minute chart. A lot of people use it for the 1 hour, the 4 hour. But what I'm about to show you right now is, settings to make it way more accurate. Now, here's one thing that I want you to do. You can use this MACD settings, what I'm about to show you, as your main indicator. As far as long term on the 4 hour, really the MACD and volumes, what I'm about to show you, that's my main indicator. How do you call it? Give me a second. Let me quiet down the messenger real quick. You guys are distracting me. So really, I recommend it more for the long term. Here's a tip that I got a while ago. Sometimes, the candlesticks, the very same thing that you're looking at, the candlesticks, is really what's distracting you. The fact that you're having so many ups and downs and, it's going all crazy. Okay, it can be distracting. So, if you want to use this, the MACD and volumes as your main indicator, what I might recommend is going to the line graph. And I know at first it may seem kind of weird. It may seem, like, okay, this is weird. How do I read this? But over time, if you do use it, you're actually going to notice that it's less distracting, and it focuses on the real market, which is the price action. Sometimes I feel like the candlesticks, distract you from what's really going on. Unless you're counting reversal candlesticks, the doji, the hammer, the shooting star, those kinds of things are really, important. But, don't be scared to try out new things. That's basically what I'm telling you. Don't be scared to completely try new things, with Forex, because sometimes, just messing around, you can find what really works for you. Okay, so let me go ahead and jump straight into the MACD and volume. So this is how the MACD and volumes is. At the regular settings, right here, we have 12, 26, and 9. That's the regular settings, right? Let me go ahead. Okay, you see how it's all noisy? You see how it's all, up and down, up and down, up and down like crazy? Okay, this is the settings. You might actually want to take a pencil, a pen, write this down on your cell phone. Write this down somewhere so that way you can remember it. Okay, on the MACD and volumes, these are the settings you want to put. Okay, you want to change it to 40, 80, and 10. Okay, 40, 80, and 10. These are the settings you want to put to the MACD and volume. Now just look what happens, okay? You see all of this right here? Let me actually just make sure my mic is still on. Everything's still good. Okay. So once you set these settings, just look how basically it changes almost, how you're able to determine the trend. Boom. Look at that. The MACD and volumes with the settings of 40, 80, and 10 has become a lot smoother, and you're actually able to see, especially you have with the line graph, you're actually able to see, that it's consistent with the actual market. Okay, it actually mimics the market a lot better, and it's able to predict it. Now, the MACD and volumes, the red and the blue line, they're actually like moving averages, but they're actually a little faster than your normal moving averages that you have on your chart. Okay, so once you set the settings to MACD on 40, 80, 10, first thing I want you to do, because obviously you're going to be testing this on demo, is just look at the history. Look at the history, look how it works on different time frames. Okay, but it's really simple. All right, due to the fact right here that it is smoother, you're actually able to tell trends a lot easier. Okay, now this is just an example. This is the Euro USD on the 1 hour. Okay, let me change it to the color real quick, just because I know some of you guys are used to looking at it in color. Okay, so the rule for the MACD is really simple. You wait for the lines to cross, okay? And that's it. It's just like a moving average. Now, if you just look at the history, you can actually tell, for example, if you would have placed the sell right around here, when the lines cross down, you could have caught a lot of pips. A lot of pips, actually. And this is just on the 1 hour, okay? You could have caught around 3,000 pips right here until it crossed back up. Now look at this again. It crossed back up around here. You would have placed your sell 700 pips. Now it's really simple and easy like that. The hard part about this, and I'm gonna be honest with you, is waiting for the perfect entry. Okay, you know, the perfect entry happens maybe twice a week, and that's usually around the midweek reversal. And it can help you spot the midweek reversal. So that's really the hardest part about this, is really waiting for, you know, the perfect entry. But if you're patient enough, you know, and you place a small trade, you know, and you just let it rock for the rest of the week or until it crosses otherwise, you know, you can actually gain a lot of pips. Okay. Now let me show you a little bit on how to read this MACD. Okay. So kind of telling from it, it's pretty simple. Okay. A lot of people might not really realize this, but if it's up here, it's uptrend. If it's down here, it's in a downtrend. Now, there's going to be times when the MACD, look at this. Okay, right here, perfect example. It crossed down, but what did it do? It bounced back up. Okay? So, never assume that it's going to go in a full downtrend until it actually crosses this right here. If it crosses the zero line, and this is the zero line right here, okay? If it fully crosses this, then yes, you know, the downtrend is going to continue for a while, okay? While it's still up here, okay, for example, up here, and then it crosses down, while it's up here, it's still considered an uptrend, but it's just going down, it's sloping a little, okay, with the market. As you can see right here, look at this. You would have placed your, let's say it crossed right here exactly. And actually in the upcoming weeks, I'm going to add an additional indicator and a training to this to actually make it a lot easier for you to vividly see, you know, literally have some buy and sell signals, you know, so that way you don't necessarily have to look at the MACD crossing, okay? Right here, for example, you would have placed a sell, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, right here, it crossed. So you would have placed a sell right here. Okay. You would immediately caught 300 pips. It went up a little, 400 pips against you, okay? But the thing about the MACD, now since it's for long term, primarily it's for long term. You can use it on any, you know, time frame, but you're going to get the best results on the 1 and 4 hour. You got to trust it. You just got to trust it. And that's why I recommend just placing a small trade, especially if you're starting out. You know, if you're starting out with $100 and you're placing a penny trade and you let it rock, you can easily make that penny into $5, $6, $7, you know, to grow your account. And now if you're doing it for multiple pairs, you know, then you can actually start really building your account. But look how this MACD ended up catching this drop right here. Okay? Now, you got to look at the MACD though, because just because it's going down doesn't mean that it's going to continue to go down. It's not officially in a downtrend, okay, till it crosses the zero path. But what happened here, it bounced off the zero path, okay, and it went up. So what you actually could have done is you could have caught this cross over here, and in case you can't really see, you can always make the color, so you know, there you go, a bit thicker so you can actually see it. Okay, so you would have waited for it to cross back up here. Okay, exactly when it crossed right here, you would have waited for it to cross here, and you could have caught 1,300 pips. Okay, now look at this right here. When the MACD is like this, when you can't really tell what's going on, you know, it's all kind of, you know, scribble scrabble. You could barely see the red peeking out. It looks, you know, like this. I would not use the MACD on this right here. This right here, something like this, don't go in for it. Maybe you have other signals. Maybe you have other, you know, indicators that, you know, tell that where you can spot maybe an entry here. But if the MACD looks like this, I would wait for it to actually officially cross down. Now, in the most recent example, okay, it crossed down right here. You would have placed your sell right around here, exactly right here, okay? And it stopped crossing right around here, 1,299 pips, 1,400 pips if you would have caught it at the, at the low, okay? Now, what is the MACD telling us right now? It's currently right now what it's telling us, okay, this strategy right here on the 1 hour is telling us that it wanted to actually move down. It really wanted to move down, but for some reason there's a lot of I guess what they call support right here, and it's bouncing off. Now, until it's fully actually above the zero line, both lines, I wouldn't confirm it as an official uptrend for the 1 hour, okay? But you can, and I do recommend you trading when the lines cross. And this works on any pair. You guys should have already the MACD. Now just change the settings to 40, 80, and 10, and I promise you're gonna basically see, that it's actually able to help you out a lot. Another example right here. You wait for it to cross, place your sell, 2,000 pips. Now this is 1 hour, so need I remind you, whenever you're trading on the 1 hour for the long term, don't expect, don't expect to close in 5-10 minutes. If you're trading long term, you literally, want to wait anywhere between 4 to 24 hours, if not longer. What I would do is just keep up with the MACD, and that way you know when to exit and when to catch the next trend. Another perfect example right here. Okay, look. It crossed down, right? Let's say you enter right around here, and you exit whenever it crosses back up again, 3,000 pips. It's really that simple. The hard part is waiting for the perfect entry, because it only comes like once, twice a week. But if you're doing it with different currency pairs, you can get multiple entries a week. Okay. Here's the perfect example of how powerful this MACD and volume works when it's on the 40, 80, 10 settings. Okay. Right here, since it's below the bottom of the zero line, it's in a downtrend. Okay. But it crossed up. So you would have placed your buy right around here. Okay. Wait. Yeah, right around here you would have placed your buy. Now, look what happens. You placed your buy and it actually ended up going down 1,000 pips. Okay, so that would have been a bad entry. Now, I'm going to basically show you how to use this long term and how to use it as an entry point too. Okay, because just the fact that you know for a fact where the trend is going can help you with the 5-minute and the 1-minute entry points. Okay. So if you would have placed your buy right here, okay, it would have scared you 1,000 pips, and that's enough to make anyone close, especially if you place a big lot trade, But look at this. The MACD still kept going up. It's still going up, and it passed the zero line into an official uptrend. So what happened is with this MACD right here, even if you would have placed it at this buy right here, you could have caught this giant spike on the 1 hour chart with this MACD. You see that? How the MACD, as soon as it touched the zero line for the uptrend, boom, it went all the way up. And it continued to go up, just like the actual thing. Now, this is the 1 hour. Check out the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour, you're going to have even more patience, but we're talking major pips on the 4 hour. All right. Once again, look at this right here. This is actually the perfect example of how powerful the MACD is on the 40, 80, 10 setting. You wait for it to cross. It's an uptrend. You would have placed your buy around here. Okay, this is the 4 hour. This is really long term. Each candlestick is 4 hours, so this might actually take maybe a week or two. Now that's really long term. But just check out the power of the MACD and the power of knowing what trend you're in. If you would have placed your buy somewhere around here when it first crossed, and you would have exited out, 7,000 pips. Okay, 7,000 pips. Now, if you would have placed a penny trade, a 1 cent trade, okay, 7,000 pips would have been $70. You could have literally turned 1 penny into $70, 75 cents with a penny trade. Now, I'm gonna let the MACD talk for itself. Hopefully, you do take a look at it, and you do use it for your long-term trading, because it's just gonna help. Now, here is what I do to help me with my entry points. Obviously not everyone, is gonna only trade on the 1 hour and 4 hour. A lot of people trade on the 5 minute and the 1 minute. Okay. Now here's, let me just set an example right here. Okay. So if you know on the 1 hour, for example, let's say the MACD is not pointing towards an uptrend. It crossed up, and now you're in an uptrend. Okay, what you can do now is go back to the 5 minute or the 1 minute, however you prefer scalping. Everyone has a different scalping strategy. Everyone uses a different 5 minute strategy. Use whatever strategy works for you on the 5 minute. But if you're in an uptrend, you can go back to the 5 minute with whatever strategy you want. And if on the 1 hour, for a fact, okay, we're in an uptrend now. The smartest thing you could do is place buys. Wait for your indicator, wait for your system to tell you buys, and place them, because you're moving with the trend. Okay, and instead of placing against the trend, trade on the 5 minute or on the 1 minute with the trend. And that way, even if you get a bad entry point, as long as you're moving with the trend, what's going to happen is eventually you're going to go into profit. So just the fact that for a fact what the 1 hour and the 4 hour trend is showing you can make you a better trader on the 5 minute and the 1 minute, because now hey, if we're in an uptrend and I'm placing sells, I'm risking more placing sells than I am placing buys, because at least with the buy, if I do a bad entry, since I know I'm in an uptrend, I know eventually it's going to go back into profit. Now the MACD volumes, it does work with the 5 minute, actually. Okay, since the 5 minute, it has more noise, it has more movement. The MACD volumes, it's more chaotic, but you can use it on the one. You can use it on the 5 minute chart as well. I know some people who do, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I recommend on the 1 and 4 hour. But you can use it on the 5 minute. For example, right here, it crossed down. You would have placed your sell. You would have caught 900 pips. Another example, right here, you're obviously on the 5 minute, you're going in and out. You wait for it to cross, place your buy. You could have caught 200, 300, 500 pips. Okay, now I want you to see this. Okay, you see this drop right here? Let me actually go ahead and zoom in this. And this is on the 5 minute, okay? Okay, you see this drop right here? I think this was from I think this was the NFP. I think this was I don't know. This actually does look like the NFP. Look, it was almost 2,000 drop, so it had to be the NFP or some crazy major news. Check this out. The MACD in volume crossed down right here. Okay? Right here, it told you sell. And this is on the 5 minute, need I remind you. So you would have placed your sell right here. And it would have caught all of this. Almost 2,000 pips with the MACD in volumes. Now, I just want to go ahead and show you that, the MACD in volumes trick, because it's really, really powerful. I use it as my main indicator for long term. Okay, that's when I look at, what trend am I in for the 4 hour, for the 1 hour, this is what I go to determine my long-term trend, only because I know it's very accurate, as far as long-term trend. And once I know what trend I'm in, if I know I'm in a downtrend, then I can go back to my 1 minute, then I can go back to my 5 minute and start scalping with sells, because I know, hey, even if I do a bad entry, eventually it's going to go into profit, because I know I'm in a downtrend, I know I'm in an uptrend or whatever trend you're in. So it does work for the 5 minute. It actually doesn't work really. It doesn't work bad at all for the 5 minute actually. Look, you want to place your sell right here. Okay, you see. Let me show you something. Right here, I told you to place a sell. Right here, I told you to place a buy. You know, but look, once it crosses down to the past the zero line, it's gonna push down more. So you would have placed your sell around here. Okay, you would have think, okay, well that's a bad entry. Now, I need to remind you, for best results, you want to trade with the 1 hour or 4 hour trend. That way, even if you do a bad entry, hey, it's still going to go in your favor eventually. Okay, you would have placed your sell right here, and if you would have exited out right when it told you to on, below the zero line, you could have caught 600 pips if you were patient enough. So that's really the trick I wanted to show you. For today is the MACD and volume. Go ahead and write the settings. You can test it out tonight. Test it on demo. Maybe you want to go ahead and trade with it already. How do you call it? So now look, as an example, right now the Euro USD is in an uptrend. Okay, on the 4 hour, but the MACD and volume is pointing down. Okay. So right now, right here, according to the MACD and volume on the 4 hour, when it looks like this, whenever you can tell right off the bat where the market's heading, right off the bat, me personally, I don't use this if I can't tell, where it's going automatically. When it looks like this right here, it's too choppy. Like, is it gonna go down? Is it gonna curve back up? I wouldn't even trade it. When it's like this, and I can tell perfectly where it's heading, then yes, that's when you would trade. But if it looks, too, let me find another example where it probably looks mumbo jumbo. Okay, this right here. This looks like it's fighting each other. This I wouldn't trade until I have a good confirmation right here. You have a perfect confirmation. It's below the zero line. There's a nice gap. It crossed down. It doesn't look like this where it's fighting each other. You would have placed your sell around here. 7,000 pips in about maybe a week or two. Okay. 1 hour. Like I said, when it looks like this right here, I would avoid it. When it just looks like a mess, I would avoid it. Usually you want to wait until it looks, it looks, the trend looks like it's nowhere like where it's going right here. It's a nice, gap. It looks strong. You would call those pips. So, that's basically it for the MACD volume. This is really what I want to show you guys. I really do think it's going to help whether you're a long-term trader and you trade on the 1-4 hour, or even if you're a 5-minute trader or you're a 1-minute trader and you do a lot of ins and outs, and sometimes you're wondering, why your short-term trades go against you and they end up being really big losses. Maybe this can help. The fact that okay, on the 1 hour, I'm in a downtrend. So what I'm going to go is back to the 5-minute, okay, and look at, sell opportunities, because that's where the trend is going. Now let me go ahead and go back to the screen right quick. Okay, cool. Now, if anyone has any questions, go ahead and shoot it to me on the Facebook chat right now. Let me go ahead and unmute Jimmy too. How do you unmute people? I don't even know how to unmute people on this. My bad, guys. Alex, no, I'm actually how do you call it? I'm actually not not single. Thank you for asking. Um, yeah. But yeah. If anyone has any questions about basically what I showed you, just go ahead and post it on the chat. But it's really simple, guys. MACD and volumes on settings 40, 80, 10. And just check it out yourself. You're gonna see, hey, this is actually not bad. Just a little trick, I wanted to show you guys, and there is actually a better way to let me actually show you a preview of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is one of the trainings that we're gonna bring to you guys very very soon. Now this is the MACD in volumes, okay? But with this right here is MACD in volumes bars and the candlesticks. Now the reason actually I set it up like this, and this is one of the trainings that we're gonna come out with soon in the future, and we're gonna give you these indicators. Is this is the very same MACD that I showed you? Okay, right now I'm in the. Let's go back to the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, right? Okay, obviously you can see you're in a downtrend. But what I did, I added MACD bars and candlesticks just so you can actually visually see what's going on better. Okay, the bars actually change colors when the MACD crosses either for an up or a sale, and the candlesticks change colors, either blue for a sale or red. Blue for a buy or red for a sale. So look, right here, the MACD crossed down. Now, the indicators that I have right here, it went red, okay, because the MACD went down, and now hey, boom, I'm in a downtrend. The candlesticks show you, okay. Now you still want to have your MACD whenever we do release these indicators. You still want to have your MACD showing, also because sometimes it's gonna do like a quick fake out, and you just want to be able to see when it's gonna bounce off the zero line. What's cool about this too is that it shows you the MACD for every time frame. So right here, the MACD is on a downtrend. On the 1 hour, it's an uptrend, and on the 5 minutes, an uptrend. So it could actually help you with entry points and synchronizing all the time frames. But that's coming up for the future. But really, this is extra right here, the MACD in bars and the candlesticks. This right here is what I want you guys to look at. And I actually do think it's going to help a lot of you improve overall with your trading. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and check if you guys have any questions real quick. The screen is off. Okay, I cannot see it. Let me go ahead and share the screen again. My bad. What I was basically showing you right now. Yeah, so in the future coming up, one of the trainings that we're going to be releasing is this MACD in volumes. Well, now you know about it. Basically, now you know about it. It's really the MACD in volumes you already have, except on the 4080, time frame. Can you guys see the screen right now? Okay, can you see it now? I don't know. It might be just might be the internet. I don't know why it's going slow. Um, okay, cool. So yeah, basically the MACD in volumes is really what you're looking at. But like I said, I have the MACD in bars and the candlesticks to basically make it easier for you to know when to buy and when to sell. The MACD in volume right here told you to buy. Now okay, I'm in an uptrend. You can go back to the 5 minute and place buys, knowing you're going to profit. So that's really it, guys. That's the training I want to show you. How do you call it? Alex asked how accurate is it. You can test it out on demo, see if you like it for yourself. But just from looking at the chart, you could tell, it's actually not that bad at all. Look at this. 1 hour, you would place the buy. Boom, 5,000 pips. T said, when is it coming out? It's coming out soon. It's coming out actually after, we released a training with Alex. But what we're going to be giving out is the indicators. Okay. We're going to be putting the indicators out there. But as far as the MACD in volume, which is actually, the training as what I'm giving to you right now, you can already see it for yourself. You already have the MACD in volume indicators. It's in our back office. If you don't, you can do a simple search, and you can get it. But just another example right here. It crossed down. You're in a sell to 3,000 pips. So if you're a long-term trader, you're actually really gonna love this. Um, so that concludes the training for tonight. How do you call it? We may have just a normal Google Hangout trading session where we're gonna we might be trading together. Whoever wants to do it. I actually got to run a quick errand right now, but I did want to share that with you guys. Okay, cool. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop broadcasting this. Um, Give me a second. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, cool. Jimmy, did you have any words? All right, cool. Yeah, just like Jimmy said, we do have a lot of stuff coming up. Uh, you know, really excited about the future. You have no idea. Um, just our first month, guys. And the 17th is gonna be our first month, and we already hit 100 members. So shout out to everyone who's been putting in work, and we're only gonna continue to grow. We really have a lot of things planned, especially that new training coming up with Alex. I'm really excited for what's about to come with that. I really feel like our whole team's about to skyrocket as far as pips. Uh, Let me see if I can unmute Alex real quick, and if he got any words for us. Yo, Alex, you there? Yo, can you hear me, Alex? Yeah. Let's do it. All right, cool. So that concludes our training for June 15th. We're out, and if you guys if the team is down, we might just start a little Google Hangout trade for tonight. So that concludes the official training for tonight. Peace.